I'll close these two tabs. And by the way, I'm using a browser called Brave. I play around with browsers. I try to test them. And also for people who like to see different browsers, if you don't know about Brave, go read a little bit about it. That we just saw. These are products. And terminology is very important when it comes to the world of WooCommerce, or WooCommerce, like some like to say. Each of these is a product, and how it looks on the front end, this one, Control-click, is a product. So this is a template how this product will display. What we will do is we will override that template. We will create a new template in Breakdance, and Breakdance will say goodbye with that one we just saw and hello to the one we will be creating. The goal is always to create a better template than the one by default. And if you can't, you stick to the default. In this case, we go to Breakdance and we have to access templates. This is where we are going to create it. Currently, our templates will be empty. Go to Add Template, Single Product. And nothing that we have to change here. We are going to apply this single product to all our products. If you wanted to apply it only to specific products, you will go to Settings and set it up there, outside the scope of this course. Edit in Breakdance. And the template, as expected, will have nothing in it. But a number of things change here from Module 1 to Module 3. First of all, let's bring in a section, because that's where we usually start. Add Section, and click again on Add. Collapse all the panels here in the Properties panel on the left, and at the bottom, we have WooCommerce. Unfurl. And we have so many things here that can help us build out this page. We are working on a product page, single product, so the idea is to start building out something very similar, but make it our own. We'll start with one element, and then we'll continue with a second element. The first one is very rudimentary. It's basic, just like the one we saw now on the front end. And then we'll do the second one, which gives you full control. And that actually is here, this one called Product, and the second one, Product Builder. Product Builder, next chapter. For now, select Product, and it drops onto the page, and you're going to see exactly what we saw on the front end. There it is. Here is the snapback cap, related products. We have our description over here. At the top, we have our title, we have price, the excerpt, add to basket, as well as meta data. And here I have my image with a magnifying glass. By selecting this product, you can see that I cannot choose any of these elements on the page. This is the old way in which many of the so-called WooCommerce builders in site builders worked, is they just gave you this. There's very little you can change here. But this is my age-old thing that I always say. If this is everything you need, don't go waste your time and spend your time on building this from scratch. If this is all you need, then you absolutely stick with this, because it is absolutely great. Absolutely, right? Go to the structure panel, open it on the right, and you can see we only have this one element, the product element. In addition, if you go to the properties panel on the left, you'll note there's basically nothing you can add here. You have disable upsells and disable related. So here at the bottom where we have the related products, if you don't want that, you just go ahead and disable it. There are no upsells here, and that's why you don't see it. Let's leave the disabled on for reference. And then here, by product, it says search by title. And the purpose of this one is to give you an idea how it will render. If I choose black t-shirt, you will see that the black t-shirt will now show here. This is interesting because actually at the very top in the quick navigation, you also have that option that you can choose from this drop-down, which ones you want to show. Even if I choose this one, the product will override what I choose here in the display. I would say clear this one. This is probably an archival setting here. Rather use the drop-down in the toolbar at the top. Now we are at the brown cap, and there are some related products, and you can go through these products. Retro sunglasses. Would I buy it? Yeah, I would buy it. And at this point, you can call it a day, and you can charge your client or tell your mother you created her Ginger cookie site for her. Everything is ready to go. However, remember, we are using Breakdance to make this our own. Now, something I would usually do before I get here, I'm going to do now because I want to show you how global styling will affect how everything will look on your product pages as well as the rest of your shop. This is crucial. I want to say this how many times. The problem is that 10 plus years, even 5 years ago, a lot of these things, we didn't have the global control over things. Every time we made a change, we had to go do it on a manual basis. And many of that has still stuck with us, and many people still do it. And when newcomers come, the concept of a global style is often neglected. That's why I always drill it in. I'll leave this open. We're going to work with this. But don't worry, if you want more control and power over how you make this page looks, we're going to do it in the next chapter. For now, let's set it up so the colors and the fonts are perfect for our site. While we are here, we go to the toolbar at the top, the 3 little dots, and select Global Settings. I'll start with the fonts. Number 1 is typography, and the heading fonts is IBM Plex Mono. I'm going to go Mono here. And the body font is which one? Mantrope, something like that. Manrope or Fig Tree. These are the 2 that I had decided on. Manrope, interesting one. And Manrope, and you can see as I change here how it changes on my page. My base size by default is 16. I'm going to leave it on 16. I want this shop to be very professional in terms of cleanliness. If I go too big, like 18, it starts to look a little bit gimmicky, but 18 is more legible, so you have to make that trade-off. I'll stick to 16, and because I know that the base size by default is 16, I'll go ahead and remove it. I also like the ratio here, which means that I don't have to care about my H1, H2, H3. If I remember correctly, I think the ratio is 1.2 or 1.25. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Module 2, go check about the ratio. But I have a few more changes that I want to make here. Go to Advanced. I'll select Headings, all headings. And then for the all headings, I will make sure that my weight is set to 700. This one here, retro sunglasses, is a heading, but for some reason, it doesn't go to bold. You will see when we start working with the product builder in the next chapter, it does honor the setting. So this product element by itself is a little bit simplistic in that nature. I'll also put my line height on 1.5, and that is 1.5 M. But the line height is set to M by default. I don't need to choose that. Grand. We are done with our typography. Now we go and do our colors, which are very important. You have all of these settings, but first I will go and create my color palette because then I can just select which of my colors I will apply here. This is what I have, strawberry red. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I do like to name my colors. First color comes in, second color. This one is flag red. Flag red for this one. Dim gray. Dim gray. Pasting the color. Onyx, onyx. Love this one. And this is a very good color palette in terms of all the shades it has, making design quite easy. What was this one? Iron. And these names are not hard and fast. They're basically just estimates. And 2 more, 3 more. Mercury. Paste mercury. Next one is alabaster. 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 And the last one is good old white. And if you've worked with these hex colors for a long time, you know that white, you can just type in FFF, and it will give you white. Now with all of this set, I have my color palette, I go to my brand, but look at what's happening on the page. Brand is usually your links and your buttons. I'll go to brand and I will select my strawberry red, and look at that. The buttons and my metadata where the links are, they update. For my text, again, have a look. I'm going to choose the dim gray, just a softer. And then for the headings, we go for onyx. The links, I'll also put it on strawberry red. And the background, we're going to put it on white. Very nice. Now I've set up my site's global styling. You have choices for your buttons, but because the button already gets it, I'm pretty much happy with that. Yet there is deeper control if we need it. And now you will notice that under the global settings, we have WooCommerce settings here as well. We'll return to this, but for the colors, we have brand, text, headings, borders, and text on brand. You have more control for how you want to style your shop. But to keep it consistent, we don't even need to dive into this. Unless you decide I want my borders a lighter red or something, then you come and change there. Same for the typography. You have weights and sizes. One of the things that you'll find that every developer of a page builder does is to make the default actually the best version there is. And that is why this product element, as you see it on the page, is the best version there is. You should not mess with this layout. That is my opinion. When I work with learners, the first thing they want to do is bring in 3-4 columns. They want to move the images around. They want to put things in a different order. And I always tell them, don't. I have so many stories of people that I know that tell me how they have abandoned shops just because they couldn't find what they are looking for. And how can people find things easily is when they expect it to be where they want it to be. That is your title at the top, the price, the description, add to basket, and maybe another description here. That's how it is. Let's save this. Save, and now we have created our product template. And I think what we can do is we can exit, go back to WordPress, and go to our products, all products. And let's start with our snapback cap again. Control-click on View, opens a new tab. And there, we've just created this. We've set up our brand with our colors and our fonts, and it looks really spiffy. I just told you, stick to the default, but now I'm going to tell you, let's jazz it up. Let's make it yours and bring in everything you want the way you want. And that in the next chapter is done with the product builder element.